Prince Harry's legal team is now calling for a police investigation into Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers after The Sun admitted that unlawful methods were used in reporting.
The publisher agreed to pay substantial damages and apologised to the Duke of Sussex after that long-running legal battle. We'll be talking to the royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams in just a second. Well, as I said, joining us now is royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams. Good morning to you.
Morning.
So Prince Harry, presumably counting his considerable compensation this morning, and who knows, framing his apology. Sun executives, presumably, wiping beads of perspiration from their collective brows. Who's won here, do you think?
Well, of course, Harry has unquestionably won in the sense that, first, he has had a pretty fulsome apology. Secondly, of course, and this is something that's very significant for him, and I think for the case, this is the first time that unlawful activities, albeit by private investigators at The Sun, that this has been acknowledged. And also, and this will give him particular pleasure, the mention of intrusion into his mother's life, because we know how significant that is, certainly as far as he's concerned. I mean, I think it's, in my view, unquestioned that Diana had a symbiotic relationship with the press, but that's not the way Harry sees it. And I think what we're also seeing is that he would like further action. There's no doubt at all that the beads of perspiration that you mentioned, there was no 10-week trial, and also that meant that certain executives, I mean, he believed that there was a cover-up. His claim was that executives, journalists, editors knew of this and were complicit. Now, that has not been proven. Clearly, since unlawful activities have been admitted by private investigators, what he would like to see is to take this further. Remember, it's his mission in life, he said, to clean up, I quote the British press.
But he didn't go to full open court trial on this. What is the reason for that? Is it because it simply would have been too expensive and he doesn't have the money? Or is it because there were things that might have come out about Prince Harry in court that he didn't want to come out? Would it simply have been too uncomfortable for him? Because people are arguing both of those cases. He said he would pursue this right to the end, but he's settled. Why?
He's settled. Several reasons. Firstly, there's no question you cannot be certain of precisely what will come up in court. And remember, against the Mirror, he was 8 hours in the witness box, and he said that was a lot. Here, it was likely to be 4 days, and as I say, there was a question mark there. Secondly, yes, it was partly the money, obviously. He's got a huge settlement. Also, there's a quirk in law. This is absolutely bizarre, or might sound strange, but when it comes to if you're actually awarded damages, but they are less than that which has been offered to settle the case before it goes to case, you could end up playing the lot. So there was nothing certain. I think he decided that this was the best way of handling it. Equally, it has enabled the NGM to claim that this is a red line under it.
Right. Coming back to beads of sweat, will beads of sweat now be popping out onto the foreheads of Daily Mail executives? Because emboldened by this victory, Harry is now pursuing the Daily Mail.
He is indeed. Firstly, it was the Mirror where he had some called it a partial victory, but I think we could agree he got damages and it was a victory. This was a substantial victory. The Daily Mail is the next targeted. It's part of, overall a campaign. A great tragedy, by the way, that he and the press have fallen out so badly. After all, it was they who permitted him to go to Afghanistan for the first time with the press, when there was silence over that. And also there was a complete, almost universal acclamation when he and Meghan married, and subsequently now it is so controversial and so opposed.
But do you think, what I'm asking you is, do you think that the Daily Mail is now more likely to settle in the way that the Sun proprietors have because of what happened yesterday?
Yes, I would definitely have thought so.
You think that's on the cards?
It would seem, if you had to bet, I would definitely bet on that, yes.
You mentioned the apology to Princess Diana. In fact, Earl Spencer wrote on X, "It's just wonderful that Harry fought for and gained an apology to his mother. She would be incredibly touched at that. and rightly proud. I mean, this is really about, I would say, Newsgroup having deeper pockets than Prince Harry. This is it seems to be driven by a financial imperative, but there is a moral victory here, isn't there, on behalf of his mother?
Very, very clearly, and it will mean an enormous amount to him. We know how traumatised he has been after her tragic death. He will see this as a vindication, and also vindication for pursuing this for some 5 years, so unquestionably.
Yeah.
The words illegal practices, the words unlawful activities were bandied about yesterday because the Sun has admitted that that was what was involved. Does that indicate that we're going to see criminal proceedings now?
It indicates that we might, because of what you've said. Yes, conceivably, Parliament and the police action might follow. I mean, you're looking at a vast field here. Remember the Leveson inquiry, and remember there was no second part of that. But conceivably, yes, and it depends whether or not movements will, after this, after what's been admitted, push for this and actually succeed. Harry also may be involved in subsequent activity we don't know about, which would bring this further into the limelight. Yes, it's possible.
Fascinating.
Richard Fitzwilliams, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.